They sold the rights to She Loves You for a TV spot." Her brow stitched. "Sold what for what?" "She Loves You," I said. "The Beatles song. They sold the rights. They're going to use it in a TV spot." "Oh." She shrugged and went back to organizing her case. She must have felt my frown over the top of the page, because she turned back around and said, "What?" "Oh, that's all?" "They do it all the time. It's not about—" "And you bitch about it all the time." She snapped her portfolio closed and smiled at me. "Such drama." "I know, but this is not just any song. It's different. To me, I mean." She eyed me for a bemused moment. "Oh, how so?" I pushed the paper aside. "I remember the very first time I heard it," I said. "Exactly where I was, who I was with, all of it. How often does that happen?" Something in my tone caught her, and she took a sip from her cup and cocked her head to one side, waiting for more. "Don't you have to get to work?" I said. "I'll go in a minute," she said. "I want to hear this. Go ahead. Tell me your story." We were in my room in our half-double on Royal Street. I was sitting at my desk, and Joey was sprawled on my bed, his arms folded behind his head as he gazed up at the ceiling. We were doing nothing, talking about nothing, lazing away a Saturday afternoon. It was too cold to go outside, and there was really nothing to do in a little town like Wyandotte anyway. We were gangly 12-year-old twerps with bad haircuts. Even in those days I was the serious one, and Joey the clown. The music trickling from my little Philco AM was so bland that it faded into the beige walls of my room, a hypnotic, saccharine drone that pitched us into our private musings. Through the window I could make out the profile of Knock Hill, the ridge of blue Appalachian granite that ran along the other side of the river, a dull mount, save for the jutting promontory of Council Rock. Winter clouds were hanging dark and low, and the 3 radio towers atop the hill blinked in melancholy rhythm, lonely beacons in the gray afternoon. Some time went by, and I sensed the DJ's voice swoop into sudden urgency. I heard the words "New Combo" and "The British Isles." By the time he reached a staccato "Liverpool," "Screaming Girls," and "Huge," he was almost shrieking. Joey sprung upright and began flailing his hands at the radio and yelling, "Turn it up! Turn it up!" I jerked to attention and fumbled to twirl the plastic knob just in time to catch the roll of a tom-tom and the sudden rush of music that gushed from the speaker. Jangling guitars, voices in harmony, and a driven rhythm, so much and so fast and strange and familiar at the same time. It was every great song I had ever heard, distilled into the one that crackled with an energy that caused the tiny speaker to quake. I lurched from my chair, gaping at the radio as if God himself had taken over the broadcast. Joey was jumping up and down on my bed, his eyes popping out of his red face as he threw his arms around at crazy angles. 2 minutes and 20 seconds later, it was over. Joey was trembling as if he had some kind of condition. He said, "Oh, my God! Oh, my God! Oh, my God! Did you hear that?" I heard. We heard. Joey and I. Isabel had propped her chin on her hand to listen. Her dark eyes remained fixed on mine as I finished. "It was an H-bomb," I told her. "In that one moment, my whole world got knocked sideways." I sat back. "I can remember maybe half a dozen times in my life when that has happened, when something just broke open and my whole life changed," I said. "One of them was that first time I met you." She blinked and said, "Oh, honey," and in a small daze laid her hands over mine. I guess work would wait if I was going to go on like this. "And when the girls were born," I said. She knew that one far better than I ever would, and nodded. "Anyway, for a 12-year-old it was big," I said, tapping a finger on the paper. "That one song in that one moment, and my world was never the same again. It was that important." I paused. "You must have had things happen like that." She shifted in the chair, and the cast of her gaze turned dreamy. "I told you I went to Madrid one summer during college.